I'm Cindy. The tension in the room was unbearable as I stood up, clutching the keys to my car in my hand. My mother, Sarah, sat there, her face a mix of shame and anger. Grandma, Rose, looked at me with pride in her eyes, and I knew that everything was about to change. Let me take you back to the beginning. I grew up in a middle-class family in the suburbs. My father, Tom, was a schoolteacher, and my mother, Sarah, was a stay-at-home mom who later became involved in community volunteer work. I have an older sister, Lily, who is 3 years older than me. Lily was the outgoing one, with long blonde hair and a bubbly personality. I, on the other hand, was quieter, with brown hair and a more reserved nature. Growing up, Lily was always the center of attention. If there was a family event, all eyes were on her. If she wanted something of mine, Mom would say, "Cindy, you're so easy going. Let Lily have it." I learned early on that easy going was just a fancy word for being overlooked. By the time I turned 22, I had started working as a graphic designer from home. It was a job I loved, and it paid well enough for me to have my own apartment and be independent. But Mom never really considered it a proper job. "When are you going to get a real office job like Lily?" she'd ask at family dinners. Lily worked as a marketing executive at a big company, got married at 25 to Mark, and had a baby, Ava, at 26. A year before Grandma Rose's 75th birthday party, Grandma had been living alone after Grandpa passed away. There was talk in the family about her moving closer to us. Mom took charge and called a family meeting, which included her, Dad, Lily, and Mark. I found out about it later, after all the decisions were made. Mom casually mentioned on the phone that Lily would visit Grandma once a week, and Mark would handle any home repairs. When I asked what I could do, Mom said, "Oh, Cindy, you're so busy with your computer work. Let Lily handle it. She's better at socializing." What Mom didn't know was that I had been video calling Grandma every Saturday for 2 years. We'd talk for hours about her garden, the books she was reading, and memories of Grandpa. Once, Grandma said to me, "Cindy, you remind me so much of your grandpa. You see things that others miss." I just laughed it off at the time. My 23rd birthday was supposed to be uneventful. I expected maybe a card or a simple dinner. But that year, Mom called a week before and told me to come to the house on Saturday. There was something for me. I almost made up an excuse, but there was a warmth in her voice that made me curious. When I arrived, the whole family was there. And in the driveway, wrapped in a huge red bow, was a silver Toyota RAV4. Mom handed me the keys and said, "Happy birthday, Cindy. We thought you needed reliable transportation." I was in shock. Lily had gotten her first car at 22, and I had been taking the bus for years. I finally felt like I mattered in this family. Grandma Rose was standing by the window, watching. When our eyes met, she gave me a knowing smile. Mom later added that it was Grandma's idea. I drove that car everywhere for a year. It became a part of me, a symbol that I was finally being recognized. But then, Lily's car broke down and everything changed. 3 weeks before Grandma Rose's 75th birthday, I went to my parents' house for dinner. Lily's car was in the driveway, and in the garage I saw my RAV4 with Ava's car seat in the back. When I asked Mom why my car was there, she said Lily needed to borrow it for a few days. Her mechanic said it would take a week to fix her car. A week passed, then 2, and I still didn't have my car back. I texted Lily, and she said the mechanic needed more time. When I called Mom, she said, "Cindy, Lily has a baby. She needs the car more. You work from home, so it's more convenient for you to take an Uber." I was furious. This wasn't borrowing. It was my car being taken away without my consent. I called Lily directly, and she said Mom had told her I was okay with it. I was so angry that my hands were shaking. I told her it was my car and I should have been asked. Lily said we'd talk about it at Grandma's party. The day of Grandma Rose's 75th birthday party arrived. Mom had reserved a private room at an upscale restaurant. I took an Uber there. When I arrived at the restaurant, I saw my car parked outside with a "baby on board" sticker that I'd never put on it. Lily and Mark were getting out, with Ava in Mark's arms. Lily waved at me and said, "Cindy, you look great. Did you take an Uber?" I forced a smile and said, "Yeah, it's convenient." Inside the restaurant, the room was filled with extended family. Grandma Rose was sitting at the head of the table, looking elegant in a purple dress. During the main course, Grandma looked at me and asked, "Cindy, where's your beautiful car?" Before I could answer, Mom beamed and said, Cindy gave it to Lily. Lily has a baby, and she needs it more. Cindy is so understanding. There were murmurs of approval in the room. I sat there, frozen. Grandma tilted her head and asked, Cindy, did you give it away, or was it taken? The room fell silent. Mom laughed nervously and said, of course, Cindy gave it willingly. But Grandma wasn't having it. She said, I'm asking Cindy, Sarah. I took a deep breath and said, no one asked me. I was told Lily was borrowing it for a week, and that was 3 weeks ago. Grandma repeated, 3 weeks. I continued, I tried to get it back, but Mom said Lily needed it more because she has a family and I'm single and easy going. Mom stood up and said, this is a small family matter. Grandma's voice cut through like ice. A car worth $25,000 is not a small matter. Mom's face turned pale. Grandma then turned to Mom and said, Sarah, do you remember coming to me last year before Cindy's birthday? You asked me for money from the family trust to buy her a car. You said you wanted to show her that she mattered. Mom's jaw tightened. Grandma continued, you promised me that the car would be exclusively for Cindy. You even signed an agreement. The room erupted in whispers. Mom stammered that it was just a formality. Grandma revealed that she had kept the car title in her name because she knew how Mom operated. She made Mom sign an agreement stating that the car was for me only and couldn't be given to anyone else without my permission. Lily stood up, shocked. She said she didn't know any of this. Grandma asked her, did you ask Cindy if you could have her car? Lily was silent. Grandma said, you assumed, just like you were taught. Mom tried to calm things down, saying it was a practical decision for the family. Lily has responsibilities, and I'm young and single. But Grandma wasn't going to let it go. She called Uncle Ben, who had brought a manila envelope. Grandma opened the envelope and started spreading out documents on the table. Uncle Ben read aloud the trust agreement, which stated that the $22,000 from the trust was for my car and that Mom had promised it would be mine alone. There was also a handwritten letter from Mom to Grandma, promising that the car would always be mine. The room was in shock. Lily started crying, and Mom looked like a deer in the headlights. Grandma said, this isn't just about a car. It's about whether our family respects every member. She then demanded that Lily return the car keys to me that night. Lily slowly walked over and handed me the keys, saying, I'm so sorry, Cindy. Grandma also told Mom that she owed me an apology, not just for the car, but for the way she had treated me over the years. Mom reluctantly said, I'm sorry, Cindy. But it was a half-hearted apology. I stood up and said, I accept your apology, Mom. But from now on, any decision about me, my property, or my life, you ask me directly. I'm not the easy-going one who can be overlooked anymore. Grandma looked at me with pride and said, that's my granddaughter. After the party, things were tense in the family. For 2 weeks, there was silence. Then Mom called, asking about Grandma's plans for the family trust. I realized she was only interested in the money. I told her that if that was the only reason for the call, then the conversation was over. A month later, Lily texted me, asking if we could get coffee and talk. We met at a small coffee shop near my apartment. She looked tired, with dark circles under her eyes. She apologized again and said she realized she had been taking things for granted. I told her that all I wanted was for her to ask me before assuming. 6 months have passed since then. My relationship with Mom is still complicated. We talk, but there are boundaries now. Lily and I are slowly rebuilding our relationship. And Grandma Rose and I have grown even closer. Every Sunday, I drive my car to her house, and we spend the afternoon in her garden, sipping tea and sharing stories. I've learned that it's okay to stand up for myself. I'm not the one to be pushed around anymore. I have boundaries, and I'm finally being seen in my family.